How's it going, guys? So we are here at the Philadelphia Regionals. I have with me...
Hello, Jimmy, Pendarvis.
And what place did you get?
I got 9th place. I bubbled out of top 8. It happens. It's unfortunate, but I'll be plenty of regionals this year, so hopefully I can get
bubble back in.
Yeah.
Nice. What did you play today?
I played Zoroark, Lycanrock with kind of a twist on it, a different list than most people had built for the new format. New format's wide open, so deck building is really important right now.
Yeah, it is. As we saw that top 8 and actually top whatever it was had all kinds of different things in there.
Yeah, the Brazil regional completely redefined the meta. Before that happened, no one was talking about shrine of punishments. No one could find good partners, and then there were all sorts of shrine decks there, and that kind of changed everything for this weekend.
Yeah, which was really great.
Yeah.
So let's get into your list and see what you were playing today.
Yeah, for sure. Here's my Pokemon line. I played 3 Lycanrocks and 4 Rock Drops. So in the last format, you had Puzzle with Time, so you could keep reusing Guzmas, and you had plenty of ways to finish the game. Now it's kind of different in the sense that games are harder to close. So I had the 3 Lycanrocks just so I could have more use of the actual Bloodthirsty Eyes. And then it makes it easier to find in the early game as well. On turn 2, bringing up whatever Pokemon you want to kill and KOing it is a big part of the deck. And then obviously the 4 Rock Drops. Without Bridget in the format, you're like free rolling to get basics. You've got Lily and Nest Balls and Great Balls and stuff like that, so that's your engine. And having the 4 Rock Drops makes it easier to find a Rock Drop, and then you can use your Nest Balls and Great Balls on the Zoruas. So I've got the 4 Zoroarks and the 4 Zoruas. That's just standard stuff. You won't see anything different. I had a Tapu Koko, but I didn't play Dedenne like most people do with the Tapu Koko, just because my matchup against Ray is essentially just judging them and then KOing their big vault, hoping for the best. And with all the shrine decks in the format, I didn't expect Rayquaza to do too well, so I kind of thought it would just be a card that I needed in the early rounds. I only played versus 1 Rayquaza and I tied. The matchup was really close in the Andrew Mahone, so nothing crazy there. I played Diancie. The new shrine decks all kind of require a little bit of extra damage from Claw Slash to KO them, so Diancie's just really good with that. Helps you hit some math with Dangerous Rogue too. You can sometimes kill things that your opponent doesn't expect to be able to kill. I played 2 Lele's. I was a huge fan of the 2 Lele's in the last format, just playing the low count, and it got even better now. You're not really looking to Bridget on turn 1, so you don't need a bunch of Lele's to try to find the Bridget, and then you don't really want to start Lele, you don't want to bench Lele just because Shrine of Punishment, so you really try to avoid it. Usually I play 1 Lele a game, and then the last Lele, if it ever hits the bench, is just to thin the deck and try to find the win, or just Wonder Tag for Guzma for game.
Yeah.
So that's all the Pokemon. Then here's my energy. It's just 4 fighting and 4 DCs. Sometimes people used to play 3, sometimes people played higher counts, but I like 4 right now. You just need to find an attachment on turn 1. Fighting is the best energy to attach, but Enhanced Hammer isn't too popular, so even DCE is pretty good to attach on turn 1. Really just whatever energy you can find. Missing an attachment, it sucks, but you can definitely still win games without it. Yeah, so here are my supporters. So here are kind of the one-ups that I played. I played Mallow, Cynthia, and Acerola, and then I had 2 Kukuis as well, 2 Lilies, 2 Guzmas, and 4 Judges, which is kind of the main supporter in the deck. You don't really judge to try to find cards, you just try to judge to disrupt the opponent. Yeah. So there's a lot of cards in the deck that require, or a lot of decks in the format that require a lot of setup, and Judge just destroys those. You really limit the options of the opponent. It's pretty great. I had a Cynthia just so I can draw cards without giving my opponent a new hand. The Lilies are great on turn 1 for getting the setup going. Guzma, you just KO important things. Mallow, you can just find something like multi-switch, crucial one-ups to make big plays, and then Acerola is really nice as well. It's my only healing card.
And then you're only running the 1 Cynthia because your engine is Zoroark anyways.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to draw a ton of cards, and if the opponent goes like Cynthia, play 1 card pass, you judge them down to 4, make them find a support every single turn. They're bound to have a stumble eventually, and you can really capitalize on that.
Yeah.
And then speaking of the 1-up supporters, I do play Palpad. Palpad's like a new card, not really a new card. It was just an old card that kind of
got reinvented.
A bunch of hype in the new format. With all the 1-ups, it's like really nice to have. It lets you reuse the Acerola and the Guzmas and stuff like that. And speaking of Shrine of Punishments, I play 3 Devoured Fields to counter that, and it really hits the math as well against them. Baby Buzzwaz 130 HP, Variety Speeding with a full board, and the Devoured Field KOs them. So that's pretty sweet. 3 choice bands, nothing crazy there. In the last format, people used to play 2 choice bands, but with 3, in the new format, it's a lot easier to go. Kukui, Devoured Field, choice band with Zoroark, and then you can hit things for 180, KO crucial things like Rayquaza, GX, Necrozma GX, stuff like that. And then I had one multi-switch as well. It just makes saving DCs a lot easier. You can move a fighting to Lycanrock and start attacking with it out of nowhere. So it really helps when you get behind on attachments too. And then the last cards of the deck, this is kind of the spicy part of the deck, I guess. I played 4 Great Balls, which isn't anything that anyone ever played. The 4 Great Balls, you know, no one other than like me and my friends had them this weekend.
Yeah.
I think they're really consistent. I took out my 4 timer balls for them. With Timer Ball, you really only need 1 heads to make it worth it. And Great Ball still got a great shot of getting the stage 1 you need. And then you have the chance to flip 2 heads with Great Ball, or with Timer Ball, sure. But Timer Ball also can't get basic, so it struggles within the deck. It's not great on turn 1, which makes it harder to play with Lily too.
Great Ball, I think Great Ball was like the greatest choice that you guys made this weekend. I saw it. I saw a lot of people playing it, like from your team. And it was just busted, and it makes sense because you're like thinning out the deck with Zoroark anyways.
Yep.
So the chances of hitting like a Lycanrock or hitting like a Diancie are more plausible when the deck is thinned out anyways.
For sure.
So that was the best call this weekend, I think.
Yeah, and when you're digging for stuff like energy, you can just Great Ball before you trade, get a Pokemon out of there if it's not something you need, and then you just hold it in your hand and start trading for things you need. And then to join the balls, I had 4 Ultra Ball and 4 Nest Ball, so it's a lot of balls. I'm just trying to be really consistent. You know, it's a new format, so decks aren't really too figured out yet, and I figured I could capitalize on everyone else having kind of whack lists, you know, not fully defined yet. So, yeah, just really consistent deck. It was good.
Nice, awesome. So that's the 60 that he played this weekend?
Yep.
All right, guys, that was the deck list right there. So, what was one of your toughest matchups this weekend?
So my hardest matchup, I lost 1 round. It was definitely the Passimian I played against. It was kind of a like secret deck that some people played this weekend. It didn't do too well, but I honestly think the deck was really creative, and with some improvements, it could still be played. It was a decent call for the weekend, but didn't really work out for them. It's hard for me to beat just because they like I'm weak to fighting, and they can one-shot Zoroark too. But a lot of people underestimate the deck and don't really understand it. So essentially, what they do is they use Tapu Koko to put a bunch of damage on the board. Those are their first couple attacks, and then once those are KO'd, they use counter energy on the Fairy Tapu Lele, and then they move damage around to KO
Video game
your real
players.
friends. Yeah. So
we have a couple players whose DSs are still at the deck check. Matthew Kerner and Ben Grissom.
Please
come to the video game judges station to collect your DSs.
Okay. And then, what was one of your MVP plays of this weekend?
So I had a cool play. It was just funny, where I had Zorua as my starter, and I didn't have a support in my hand other than Professor Kukui, and I used it, and then I benched a couple Pokemon, attached a DC to my Zorua, and then used Ram, which killed his Marshadow because it was weak, and I hit it for 80, so that was pretty funny. It's not anything crazy. MVP plays, I don't know, I made some big plays with multi-switch that my opponents didn't expect, and Great Ball. A lot of the time I would judge myself really needing a Pokemon. I found the Great Ball a couple times and then got the Pokemon I needed, so that was cool to see the card work out.
Nice. So moving forward, are we going to see you at any other regionals this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I got top 16 last year and the year before that, and I don't think this year will be any different, to be honest. I'm going to go to all the NA regionals, all 4 internationals, so that's at least 19 tournaments, and I'll consider some other stuff in Germany and whatnot.
Nice. All right. And then I guess moving forward, since you are going to Memphis in a couple weeks, will you be playing the same deck, or will you wait to see what Dragon Majesty does to the format?
Yeah, so I definitely don't commit to playing any deck. I could have won this regional and I wouldn't commit to playing the same deck again. Even when decks win, they're not necessarily great for the next event, and even if a deck does terrible this weekend, it's not necessarily bad for the next event. It's really just how the meta shapes out, how everything goes. And then tech cards are also important for the event, so that'll be a big part of my decision. And I'll have to just test and see what I like.
Any predictions of what could possibly be a top deck, since Dragon Majesty will be shifting the meta?
I still expect Zoroark Lycanrock to be ridiculously popular. A lot of the top players this weekend played it, and that will encourage players to play it at home. And then there's some spicy stuff in the deck too, so that'll add even more people on the bandwagon. Poet's in top 8 with it. He's got a great matchup for top 8. He's a good player, so he's likely to win the regional, honestly, and that would definitely get people going.
Nice, perfect. All right, cool. Thank you, Jimmy, for being on the channel. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to have you.
It was fun.
Guys, that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to share the video with anybody that wants to know what got 9th place at the Philadelphia Regionals. With that said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.